Okay, let's start with the obvious question. Why does a 3,000-year-old poem about a guy trying to get home from war suddenly become the biggest movie in Christopher Nolan's career? Like, seriously, Odyssey gets turned into a summer blockbuster and smashes box office records. That's not just surprising, it's borderline absurd. But here we are. The Odyssey just crossed $1.1 billion globally, dethroning The Dark Knight Rises, which, let's be real, feels like ancient history in Hollywood terms. So what's going on here? Is this a cultural shift? A marketing miracle? Or just Nolan's ability to turn myth into must-see spectacle? Let's unpack this. First, the numbers. The Odyssey made $1.1 billion in under a month. That's faster than most of Nolan's previous films, which usually rely on slow-burn prestige. But here's the twist. This isn't some high-concept sci-fi like Interstellar, or a gritty reboot like Batman. It's a straight-up adaptation of Homer's epic. And yet, audiences are flocking to it. Why? Personally, I think this reveals something fascinating about post-pandemic cinema. People are craving epic scale again. Not just CGI explosions, but stories that feel mythic, timeless. The Odyssey delivers that in spades: 10 years of voyages, monsters, gods, and a hero who's equal parts genius and hot mess. It's like if Marvel made a movie where the superhero's power was enduring existential despair. And audiences are eating it up. Now, let's talk about Nolan himself. The guy's built a career on bending time, space, and audience expectations. But adapting Homer? That's a risk. The Odyssey isn't exactly a slam-dunk franchise starter. It's a poem where the main character spends most of the story stranded, hallucinating, and arguing with gods. But Nolan's genius lies in making that feel urgent. He's taken a narrative that's basically a Bronze Age road trip and turned it into a cinematic event. And here's the kicker: he didn't just slap modern pacing onto it. From what critics are saying, he leaned into the epic's themes, nostalgia, identity, the cost of war, and made them feel terrifyingly relevant. In my opinion, that's why this film connects right now. We are living in a world where everyone's trying to get back to normal after chaos, just like Odysseus trying to reclaim his kingdom. The parallels are eerie. And then there's the cast. Matt Damon as Odysseus. Anne Hathaway as Penelope. Robert Pattinson as some cursed sailor. It's a who's who of bankable stars, but what makes this fascinating is how it's not just a paycheck gig. These actors are diving into roles that demand physicality and emotional rawness. Damon's Odysseus isn't a muscle-bound hero, he's a battered survivor. That's a bold choice. Hollywood usually sells us invincible protagonists, but here, the hero's scars are the point. What this suggests to me is that audiences are craving flawed humanity in their blockbusters. They want characters who feel real, even in a mythic setting. And let's be honest, this is the first time Damon's been this vulnerable since Good Will Hunting. That vulnerability is selling tickets. But wait, let's address the elephant in the room. A $250 million budget for a film based on an ancient poem. That's not just expensive, it's borderline irresponsible by studio standards. Except Universal's printing money here. This film's already in the top 10 highest grossing of all time, when adjusted for inflation. So what does that say about Hollywood's obsession with safe IP? Maybe we are entering a new era, where studios realize that originality isn't the enemy of profit. The Odyssey isn't a sequel, a reboot, or a toy commercial. It's a gamble on the power of storytelling itself. And it paid off. From my perspective, this could shift how studios greenlight projects. If a 3,000-year-old poem can become a summer juggernaut, maybe there's hope for other underdog stories. Imagine a Beowulf adaptation directed by Greta Gerwig, or a Mahabharata epic from Denis Villeneuve. The possibilities are thrilling. Let's zoom out for a second. This film's success isn't just about money or stars. It's about the theatrical experience. Universal's pushing premium formats, IMAX, 3D, all that jazz, and people are paying double to watch a 3-hour poem on the big screen. That's wild. What this really highlights is a growing divide in cinema, home streaming versus event movies. The Odyssey isn't something you digest on your phone. It's a journey you surrender to. And in an age where attention spans are crumbling, that's a radical idea. Nolan's betting that audiences still want to be overwhelmed by cinema. And he's winning. So where does this leave us? With a lot of questions. Is this the start of a mythological renaissance in Hollywood? Can other directors pull off high-art adaptations without losing the crowd-pleaser edge? And most importantly, what does it say about us that we are spending billions to watch a hero scream, "I want to go home," at a CGI Cyclops? If you ask me, it's because we are all a little lost right now. The Odyssey isn't just Odysseus' story, it's ours. And maybe, just maybe, watching his struggle helps us feel less alone in our own chaos. What do you think? Drop your theories below, preferably after rewatching the trailer in IMAX for the third time.